Never forget that. That was some of the worst pain I've ever had in my life. My eyes kind of lit up because I was like, I thought this wasn't supposed to happen again. I got my surgery done. There's no way I'm gonna be able to play. I can't swing a bat. It's swollen.
As a father, I felt so responsible, and I couldn't do anything to help him.
My name is Anthony Basio. I'm 22 years old. I am from Coatesville, Pennsylvania. I just graduated from Widener University with a mechanical engineering degree. Always grew up having a good time, loved doing things with my family, my friends and everything. But my one true love was baseball growing up. Baseball has been in my family for generations. I have actually had multiple cousins in the MLB. One that's actually very fairly known is Mark DeRosa. He is on MLB Network. He played in MLB for, I want to say, upwards of 15 years. He was the USA World Baseball Classic coach actually this year. But baseball has been in my family for generations, and it's always been a love to me because not that I was forced into it, it was something that I enjoyed since I knew what baseball was. I enjoyed playing it ever since I picked up a bat, picked up a ball and a glove. It's just been my one true love since I knew what it was. So that was kind of always my big thing growing up and to the point where I am now. Going to college, I really never got hurt. And then my freshman year, we went down to Florida, took a trip. This was February of 2020. I slid back into first base on a pickoff and my shoulder got stuck and dislocated out. That was the first dislocation I had. I'll never forget that. That was some of the worst pain I've ever had in my life. I was like, I got my opportunity and now it's down the drain because I got hurt. Then the next one was a year later. That was in the summer of 2021. I was diving for a baseball in the Westchester Men's League and I landed on my shoulder. This is prior to my first surgery and I dislocated it again. I sat in the hospital for about 2 hours with a dislocated shoulder. They put it back in. They told me that I was gonna have to get surgery, which is my first Bankart surgery for my labrum.
Whenever you dislocate your shoulder, it typically tears your labrum. So that summer he got surgery, just your standard Bankart repair to repair labrum. They just kind of sew it back together.
I was 100% after my first surgery. I felt like nothing had happened. My mobility was back, my strength was back, everything. Felt like I never dislocated once, twice, or had a surgery. Now into my junior year, I went through the whole season, killed it, had one of the best seasons of my life, the best season of my life, and subluxed it in the last series of the year, which was in May, late April, May of 2022. I subluxed it. That was sliding into home plate. I reached back to go tag home when I was rounding third going home, and when I reached back here, it rolled out, rolled right back in. My eyes kind of lit up because I was like, I thought this wasn't supposed to happen again. I got my surgery done. So I looked like a deer in the headlights, honestly. And my coach saw me.
When the away team's athletic trainer was evaluating him, she actually pushed his shoulder out again, so it dislocated for the second time. The first time after the surgery, this was the first dislocation after the labrum repair.
The confidence was fine. It was more so worried about long-term now. I was like, okay, if I want to move forward in my baseball career, this needs to be right. This has to be fixed. I actually ended up going down to Virginia to play in a college league. Well, me being me, the hard player that I am, I decided to just go all out and dive for a baseball while also wearing a brace on my shoulder that was supposed to prevent my arm from sliding out. Well, I dove for a baseball down in Virginia with the brace on and it popped out. And after that, I was like, this isn't good. This is the fourth time. My shoulder has to be destroyed at this point. I come home, call my parents, and I say, look, this is what happened. It dislocated again. There's no way I'm gonna be able to play. I can't swing a bat. It's swollen.
It killed me. Every little kid wants to be in the MLB. Every little kid wants to go to the show. Every little, he gets better and better and better.
It hurt because this was my first opportunity to leave home during the summer to go play in a very competitive collegiate league, to showcase my talent, to be able to move on and move up in the ranks of baseball in college and potentially just expose myself to any MLB scouts that were down there, because that's a big thing down there is MLB scouts. People get drafted out of that league. It was, okay, what do I do now? I mean, I know another option is going to be a surgery, but I was talking to my buddy who actually had gotten the lateral surgery, and he was like, I don't feel the same as I ever did before. And I was like, all right, I'm screwed. My baseball career's over.
I said to him, no, it's not, you will be fine. I, as your father, will find something to take care of this. Somehow, some way, we will find something to get better. As a father, I felt so responsible that this happened to him, and I couldn't do anything to help him.
It completely threw me off course. I wasn't really sure what was going to happen with my life, honestly, because baseball has been my life since I can remember, since I could walk. My dreams and my hard work and everything that I had been using and time that I've consumed for 17, 18 years at that point almost felt like it was thrown down the drain. And I was concerned that was going to be the end of my baseball career.
So this was the second shoulder dislocation after the initial labrum repair surgery, which led him to have another surgical procedure. And this time it was a more complicated procedure. It was a Latarjet Bristow procedure in which they remove a piece of your coracoid process, which is near your collarbone, and they kind of put it in the front of your shoulder. They attach a piece of bone with all the muscles attached to it, and they put it in the front of your shoulder. And that basically physically makes it impossible for you to dislocate your shoulder again, because now there's a muscle and a bony block there. But now that we're rearranging your anatomy, your shoulder doesn't perform the same.
For a second, I was kind of depressed. I didn't really want to talk sports at all, because it brought back the fact that it might have been my last game ever. Because that was the thought process, was that my last baseball game? Like, am I done? Am I going to pick up a bat again? Am I going to swing a bat? But then I eventually got over it and said, forget that. Like, I'm going to get this surgery. I'm going to get myself back to where I need to be, and I'm going to be the baseball player that I want to be. After the Latarjet surgery, I felt a little concerned, because it didn't feel like the first surgery when I came out. The first surgery, I felt like things went great. Like, I know they went great, but for some reason there was something in the back of my head that was saying something's not right. Yeah, so I started my rehab. It was right after I got my sling off. So towards the end of August of 2022, I started that rehab. I went through August, September, October, November, December. I was going in every day. I was almost 7 days a week.
So the outcomes of that are a little bit different. Sometimes you don't get the full range of motion, and part of that is because of how the procedure plays out in the new arrangement of your shoulder. And I do see more, that procedure is less common, because again, they usually only use it after you've had chronic dislocations, because it's more intense. And when you're going back to play high performance, like collegiate athletics, like if you were just gonna go be a recreational athletic person, just, lift weights, play pickleball, do some golf, we probably wouldn't have ever come here. But to get to the level of being a competitive, high level college athlete, that surgery does lead to some complications occasionally.
Getting back to the baseball activities, once the surgery was over and the rehab was over and everything, it was like Christmas Day. I get cleared, I get back, I said, Rachel, here's the paper, I'm cleared. To my athletic trainer, I said, I am cleared. I instantly get a bat, I go out, take a couple of swings, and I'm like, something still doesn't feel right.
And he actually said to me, he goes, Dad, I think I forgot how to swing. I'm like, you didn't forget how to swing, okay?
Yeah.
You did not forget how to swing. Something is stopping you from swinging.
And I instantly was like, what am I doing? Like, this is not a mechanical thing. This is a physical thing from my surgery that needs to be taken care of. The first game I actually did well, which was weird. I was like 2 for 3 with a double. And I'm like, oh, maybe this is all in my head. And then the next game happened, 0 for 4, 3 strikeouts. Next game happened, 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts. And I'm like, okay, maybe it wasn't just in my head. Maybe this is actually a serious thing.
Every game I've ever gone to, my son hits. He hits. He just hits the ball. And prior to that, he was not hitting and struggling. And I had in my head, okay, he needs confidence. He needs to come back. He needs to get back to where he was.
And the season went by about a month and a half or so, or about a month and a half. into middle to late March, and I'm like, why am I batting 143 when I'm historically a 380, 390 hitter my entire life and in college? Like, what's happening right now? So my confidence was down. My mental side of baseball was down. I didn't want to play anymore. I was so frustrated and sick of it that I almost got pulled out of the lineup for the first time in my entire life. I was always a 1 to 4 guy in the lineup, get on base, hit the ball far guy, and I almost got pulled and benched for the first time in my life.
I was at Dr. Newman's office and I heard doctor speaking to somebody else about nerve pain, because that's what he had. I'm like, did you just say nerve pain in the shoulder and the back of the arm? And Dr. Newman said, yes, we can help that.
So on March 15th, when I walk into the Head and Spine Pain Center, I walk in and I'm like, all right, this is a nice little office. Like, I feel ready to go. Like, I feel like I got welcomed by people when I first walked in, by Dr. Newman. I felt like I was kind of at home. They really paid attention to you, your detail. I knew that Dr. Newman was going to take care of me just from the minute I walked in. I was explained what the instrument did, and I was pretty interested in it because it was kind of something that I had an idea that a lot of MLB players and professional athletes and those people are doing to get themselves corrected. I did a lot of the traditional stuff with cupping, scraping, massaging, stretching, mobility stuff with my athletic trainer at Widener, Rachel, but none of that really seemed to fully get me past the hump that I was trying to get over.
When Anthony came back, he also did an adjustment on him as well, because he was looking at my son, and because it was funny, he actually said, lay on the table, and he lay on the table, and Dr. Newman's like, you're a little goofy right here, just hold on one second, and did an adjustment. And this one, he just was like, wow, it was an adjustment up in the top portion of his vertebrae, and he just looked at me and goes, oh, I feel like a new person, And,
like I could breathe again.
Yeah, and all that combined was just, again, I'm getting goosebumps, was just phenomenal. That the research that I did for so many months, what Rachel did, she did fantastic, just couldn't get him beyond where he needed to be. And now he's beyond where he needs to be, and he's back playing again.
We went through our tests and assessments and stuff. He explained to me why he's doing what he was doing, what the results should come out to be, and what they did come out to be. And he asked, you have any questions? I gave him some questions, and he answered them right on the spot. Exactly what I needed to know. Made me just feel much more comfortable when I walked in here, knowing that, okay, I'm not just walking into another doctor's office. I'm going into somewhere that is going to take care of me. Not if it's just my shoulder, but they also care about me just in general with my life. Every time I come in, hey Aunt, how's it going? What's new? What's going on? Like, I felt a personal connection from the minute that I walked in here. The quickness of how the pain went away was just phenomenal. There was less pain in that area, and just overall just felt better and more loose. It wasn't tight, because everything was tight in that area. It felt great.
Yeah, so he would actually be so excited about his progress that he would like run in the athletic training room and show me. He would come like, look, I can put my arm in this position, or like, look how far I can stretch my arm now. And they were ranges of motion that I couldn't get. Like, I would literally be cranking on his arm as hard as I could, and he'd let me do it. He put up with a lot, and we just couldn't get to where we needed it. And then all of a sudden, after the treatments, again, like without even me having to do a formal assessment, he would just come in and show me, and was just so excited. And he's like, and it doesn't hurt. He's like, look, I can do this, and it doesn't even hurt me. And that was the first time in months that he was able to say that.
Yeah, you were saying after the first treatment, this game's gonna be like, it's gonna be different for you. Like, you're gonna feel different. You're gonna feel a lot better. You're gonna feel more loose. And I ended up going 3 for 5 that first game with 2 doubles and a home run. And he wasn't lying. It was true. Dr. Newman was not lying. I felt much more loose, much more flexible, stronger. Everything was starting to come back to me, and that was only after the first treatment.
Feeler deals. Basio hits one to right field. Back at the wall. It is done! A grand salami for Antonio. This Widener leads 15-5. Antonio! How about it? Have a day, young man. 5 RBIs, 4 for 4, a grand slam. I think he's back.
Baseball's taught me a lot. It's more than just a game to me. I can definitely say that. It's something that's taught me to, quite honestly, be a good person, how to be resilient, a work ethic. That was a huge thing, was my work ethic. It translated to school, to actual work when I would work over the summer and do some construction stuff. It just taught me how to overall be a good person and just be really dedicated to what I'm doing in the moment. If it's baseball, if it's work, school, whatever it is, just really be dedicated to it. I'm thinking Anthony Bossio is here and he's back.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you really enjoyed it. My name is Dr. David Newman. I am the founder and owner of the Head and Spine Pain Center. A little about 7 years ago, I started the Head and Spine Pain Center for one reason: to push the status quo of healthcare. Not only technology, cutting edge research, but also protocols and designing them. And over the years, we've been able to customize these protocols and offer a solution that, quite frankly, most other places can't offer. If you are experiencing any issues that you've sought care for, that you didn't get results for, I want to encourage you to invest in yourself. Reach out to us and see if we could help you. We do things completely differently than most people do in the state of Pennsylvania in terms of upper cervical specific chiropractic care. As you can see from the video you just watched, we add a lot of technology. We're always adding different protocols as well. And if you want more information, you can click the link below. Our phone number is 267-544-9283, or click on headandspinepain.com and learn more about us. We're really looking forward to meeting you and hope to get to see you soon.